Spartans! What is your profession?
Yes, people, another edition of Nights in the Round Table Discussions where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guys, The Truth and Mr. KA with me. How are we doing, people?
How's it going, Baz?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Happy to be here, man.
Honestly, people, if you don't know, we've been waiting on Mr. KA and his technical difficulties for nearly an hour.
The people didn't know, so there was no need to tell them.
They need to know.
They need to know.
I think they need to know. We need to be clear.
We've got him now. So it's all good. People, we've got a special for you today. We've called it the Taking the Knee debate. So we're going to be discussing. Before that, as usual, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the comments up. We definitely want to interact with you on this one and get the subscriptions up as well. But yeah, we're calling this one the Taking the Knee debate. We're going to be discussing comments made by Wilfred Zahra about taking the knee, the media's response to what's been going on in terms of football and not only the racial abuse, but the inequality as well. And we're going to be discussing Lewis Hamilton's comments and what he said about trying to move things along further. Just to give people a little bit of context into what we're talking about, Wilfred Zahra came out, he did an article basically saying that he no longer wanted to take the knee. His comments were, I've said before that I feel like taking the knee is degrading and stuff because growing up, my parents just let me know that I should be proud to be Black no matter what. And I feel like we should just stand tall. I feel like taking the knee now, it's becoming, we do it before games, and even sometimes people forget that we have to do it before games. Trying to get the meaning behind it, it's becoming something that we just do now, and that's not enough for me. I'm not going to take the knee. We're isolating ourselves. We're trying to say that we're equal, but we're isolating ourselves with these things that aren't even working anyway. So that's my stand on it. He also said that he will not wear the Black Lives Matter slogan on his t-shirt as he feels like it's a target. Interesting comments from Wilfred Zahra. Premier League football, obviously plays for Crystal Palace. Mr. K, I'm going to come to you first. Just give us your thoughts on just give us your response to that, on what Wilfred Zahra said, on the basis that he's no longer going to take the knee and he's no longer going to wear the t-shirt for Black Lives Matter as well.
Well, first of all, if you notice, I'm smiling. I don't mean to come across like I'm laughing at the statement that our good friend TJ just read out, that's come from Zahra. But for me, I understand where Zahra's coming from, and I hope from what I'm going to go on to say, you can see that I get where he's coming from. But I don't entirely agree with what he's saying. I feel that whether it's a big step or a small step, I feel that it's a step forward in the right direction. And Zahra coming out with the notoriety that he has as being a Premier League footballer, as you mentioned earlier on, with the platform that he has and the voice that he has that can reach thousands, I feel that step forward, whether you think it's incremental, a small increment or a big one, he's making us take a few steps back, or he's providing resistance to that step forward. And I just think the wording in his statement, I think just is what provides the resistance, because he used words as degrading and not being able to stand up tall, and he's not going to wear the slogan. I feel that all of that is just stripping away from what the work that we're doing and the work that we're putting in to try and have that conversation. And I just feel that he could have worded his statement better, because, okay, he feels like, which has been the problem for years, is where Black voices are not being heard, and he feels like his voice is not being heard by kneeling and not being able to speak, because kneeling is a silent act. Maybe he feels like he's being marginalized. So I don't want to put words in his mouth, but maybe he feels like he's being marginalized and he's maybe been told to do it by club officials because the Premier League and Sky Sports, that's the stand that they want to take. But I feel like taking a knee, okay, maybe becoming a bit redundant. Now it's just becoming a thing, part of the game. You can definitely see the players are ready to get up and start running. Like even before the minute goes, they're anticipating the whistle and get about, and they're already ready to start, like as if it's a athletics track meet. They're ready to go. But so I get where he's coming from. It's like not everyone's taking it seriously. Some people, even before the whistle goes, they start running. They forget, oh no, I have to take the knee. So you actually see it on TV. But I just feel like, as a black man on the TV and in public, any cause that's promoting equality, that and this one is just shaped in Black Lives Matter and standing up for racism. But the bigger picture is that black people should be treated equal to everyone else, and that's why obviously there's a lot more to it. But that's a big part of why they say Black Lives Matter, because we feel as a race we should be treated equally as other races. So our lives matter just as much as your lives matter, not any more or not any less. So I feel that him saying the things that he's saying, this is a conversation that's promoting Black Lives Matter and every lives are equal, including Black lives. So I feel that he, in saying what he's saying, that he's degrading, I feel that a few things. I feel that he is stripping away from what Black Lives Matter is trying to achieve by saying it's degrading, because he should be able to see the overall picture, the bigger picture, that, okay, my club officials have asked me to do this, but the reason why I'm doing this is for the cause, is for the movement, however you want to say it. So, okay, if he doesn't want to do it, he's a free man. He doesn't have to do it, because yes, it's become a redundant exercise, which I get. And black people have a thing where, obviously, because we've been treated in how we've been treated, there's an ego, there's a prideness when it comes to black people, especially now where obviously we've got more of a voice to say, okay, don't treat me like how you're treating me. So maybe he feels that he's being subjective, and that's why I kind of get where he's seen it's making us feel isolated, because when you're doing it, it's a visual thing that people are seeing, so it's something for them to pick on and say, oh, because you're kneeling. And so I'm not going to try and go on for too long, because I know that obviously truth can speak and you as well, teacher. But I know because you're kneeling, I've got an instant response to what you're doing, an action. It's like a cause and a reaction. So it's like what I'm being asked to do is creating a reaction of people having negative comments. So I get that. And then that's probably adding to his possible trauma, right? His heartache and what he's going through, because everyone goes through it in their own way. So I'm all for him speaking up, but the wording that he's using when he's saying he's degrading, he says he's not going to wear the t-shirt anymore. So what? He's going to just giving up, like being a black person. He's still going to receive like the same treatment. So I don't know. I just feel that he's providing a resistance to what's being said. And okay, it may not be working as well, but come with more solutions. And what the kneeling down is, it's a visual representation. So people are getting to see it. It's in front of their faces where they can't hide behind it. So anyway, but yeah, I'll let you guys talk, and then I feel free, I can elaborate a bit later on. But yeah, I'll leave the floor open to someone else.
No. You come out with some very interesting points, and I hear what you're saying. Truth, you just want to counteract to that, or do you agree with what Mr. K has said there?
I agree that the wording may have been a bit. Kay said he should have used different wording. I agree to that extent. He should have probably used different wording. But I know why Zaha used that wording. Because for me, Black Lives Matter, getting down on one knee is a joke. Okay. Become a laughing stock. I cringe every time I see these idiots take a freaking knee. Like it means anything.
Do you really? Honestly, do you really cringe and like say it's a joke?
I cringe. It looks so stupid, man. Like the first time they did it, I said okay, because it was all heat over what happened over in America. But then when they keep on doing, I'm like, what are you doing? You guys look pathetic, man. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this nonsense. I'm sick of this rubbish. Look, I'm gonna get serious and I'm gonna get real. If these black footballers or these black ex-footballers or these guys really have a freaking issue with everything that's going on, do something about it. It's simple.
I
Do
agree
something
with
about
that. I agree
it. Do
with that.
something
Yeah.
about it. Because shall I tell you why? At least in America, what did the NBA guys do? They stopped playing. And what did that force the executives in the NBA to do? Sit down and talk and ask them what needs to happen. But I'll tell you something right now. I don't give a shit about these black footballers in England. Shall I tell you why? Because these guys only care about money. A lot of these guys come from rough backgrounds. As soon as they got their money, they've forgotten what they are. If they were serious, get together. I don't even care if it's 1 or 2 people or 3 people. Get together, yeah. Come up with an organization that you can stand behind and say, look, as an organization, we're going to do this, and sign up to it because you're black, sign up to it. And that way they could be like, look, we're all going to come off social media. So they change their thinking. We're all going to say, if things are not changed in this, let's say, for example, the Premier League, let's make some changes that we want to do. If not, we're not going to play for this one weekend. I guarantee you they will get the backing of their teammates. Well, if their teammates care, they will get the backing of their teammates. They will get the backing of their managers. Be like, we're not going to play. Okay, we're not going to play because it's a serious issue. Okay, but they won't do it because they're too scared of, one, their money being docked for that game or whatever, or the media coming out on them. So unless they're willing to actually sanction changes their own selves, I don't give a crap about Black Lives Matter. I don't give a crap about taking a knee. Like, I'm with Zaha, I'm right. I'm fed up of it. And if he wants to go, all power. If he wants to leave this movement, all power to him. I think a lot more black people need to come and say, I'm not taking a knee no more because it's pathetic. I think it's pathetic. I'm sick of them taking a knee. It's become a joke now. If you can see Ty on Arsenal TV, every time he scores a goal, flipping, going down his knee and putting this. How embarrassing is it, man? It looks so stupid now. It's a joke. That's how much of a joke it's become. And telling me that it's serious. Nah, man.
I hear you. Listen,
No, I agree with that as well. That taking the action. Sorry to interrupt you, but I agree. Just to put it out there, I agree. I agree with that part.
listen. Truth. I agree with you. I don't see the need to take the knee anymore. I think the prime thing for me is that even the players forget to do it. So, when the players are even forgetting, like, how many times have we got to the kickoff and see a player either kick the ball to his teammate or try and run into the opposition half? We saw Mane do it. Do you know what I mean? So my whole thing is if that the players are forgetting to do it, this is no longer doing this for a conversation. It's just, we're doing it just for the sake of doing it. Because this is what the Premier League wants. This is what Sky Sports wants. So I'm just going to do it. Same reason why they wear the T-shirts. Because their manager and the club are doing it. So that's why I'm going to do it. What do we hear when the whole Suarez and everything happened? We were told to wear the T-shirts. So you're getting told to do these things. You don't really care. You don't really care. It's because I think it was Glenn Johnson that came out like last year and said, I was told I had to wear the T-shirt in support of Luis Suarez. Bro, if you was your own man, and you were serious, right? My man's come out and said something racist. Mate, he's not your teammate, but he's a fellow black man, yeah? Bro, why are you wearing the T-shirt? Why are you wearing the T-shirt? What are you afraid of? But you're afraid of, as Truth said, losing your money, having the media come after you, and being sacked from your club.
And also coming across as a bad egg.
Exactly.
No one wants that in their locker room.
All of these footballers, they're less than people. They are commodities that could be bought and sold. They have no say. They have no brain. I'm gonna go harsh on them because at the end of the day, this is what most of them. I'm not saying all of them. There may be the few that are thinking differently, but most of them, you take away that you threaten their money, threaten their social status, they'll jump in line and start saying, yes, massa. Yes, massa. Let me go outside, massa. Let me get food for you, massa. That's what these people are, man. I don't rate any of them. So until they're willing to be serious about this situation that's going on right now, okay, I don't want to hear nothing about it, to be honest.
No, I hear it. I hear it. I hear it 100%. And this is the thing to me. So when Zara's come out, like, I don't think it's the words that he used. I wouldn't change it because it is degrading. Imagine this year, you're going down on your knee. We understand the representation behind it because of what happened to George Floyd, and we're not being insensitive to that. But what I'm saying is we're going down on the knee and nothing's changed. So what's the point? So we're just going down on the knee just to appease the Premier League and Sky Sports, because as they continue to say, we're keeping the conversation relevant. But okay, so what are we talking about? What conversations are we having?
By the way,
Because
let's bear in mind here. Sorry to interrupt you. Bear in mind, yeah, going down on a knee was what Colin Kaepernick did for the national anthem. Because for the American national anthem, you have to stand. It's a standing thing. It's disrespectful if you do anything but stand. So the fact that you see these guys going on the knee when nothing's playing in the background, as I said, you look like a freaking idiot. I'm sorry. Sorry. Go on.
no, I
The thing
hear
with
it.
the Colin Kaepernick, anyway, by the way, he actually was doing it out of respect because at first, if you saw when it first started out, he used to sit on the bench. He didn't come out with a team. But then him and another couple of other players. But then that's people started to say, okay, you're disrespecting the servicemen, the national flag. So then he went to someone who served and said, okay, I don't want to do this, X, Y, and Z, but how can I be respectful to people who served and to my country? And he was actually advised to take a knee. So that's why he actually took a knee in the national anthem, because initially he didn't want to come out. He was actually just sitting in the locker room or on the bench.
And he still got torn to shreds for it.
Yeah, obviously people forget that part.
Yeah, because the man lost everything. He lost everything. But what people are failing to realize, he was a black man that wanted his voice heard and wanted to make a change. Yeah. So he said, do you know what? Forget my career, forget the money aspect of it. I'm gonna continue to do it, right? And whatever happens, happens. And obviously, he got blacklisted. I don't think he's gotten it anywhere. He hasn't got anything from it. And I get for these guys, right? They've got families. We 100% understand that. But if you're going to make a proper change, sacrifices have to be made. And my whole thing is that you don't have to do it as an individual. As the truth said, if you lot all come together, right, and say, as Truth and I have discussed, come off of social media, right? Completely come off it, because Twitter have already said they're not getting rid of people that have anonymous accounts. They're not asking you to verify anything. So Twitter don't care. They don't care. These social media companies do not care about what is going on. So if our sports people, because it's not just linked to football, it's linked to everything. If our sports people who have a voice said, I'm coming off of social media, if they said, you know what, as True said, I'm not going to play this weekend, or Lewis Hamilton said, I'm not going to drive this weekend, or Tiger Woods, I know he's in hospital right now and hopefully he's all right, but if he said, I'm not going to play in these couple tournaments, right? If the NBA players have done it, said they're not playing, and obviously they got all the executives to come around the table. These are the extremes and the lengths that we have to go to get these people to take notice. Until you start hurting them in their pockets, nothing will change. You have to fuck their money, right? Because this is what this is all about. It's about money. But if you're going to continue taking the knee, keep on coming out with stupid organizations that don't do fuck all, right, to help, then what's the point? What is the point of any of this? Because you lot are good, yeah? All right, fair enough, you're getting racially abused and no one should have that, but you're still getting your money, right? You got regular Joes like us, right, that don't have the same things. Right? So if we stand up, we're like, see you later, all right, cool, here's your P45. We ain't living. You have the chance to still carry on your career if you lot all come together and make a massive effect, because you got the biggest voices, because you're on TV and you got how much people that look up to you. And the fact of the matter is, you lot are the ones that are making these companies money. So if you all came together and said, you know what, now I'm not doing it no more. I'm not doing your adverts anymore.
Simple.
Nah. I don't feel like being an influencer and advertising your product. Watch how quickly things change, because when you start fucking their money, that's when everything else comes into effect. It's as simple as that. But yeah.
No,
Okay.
I agree. No, I agree.
Go on.
No. So I agree, and I just think I don't like the way he's just gonna. Oh, I'm not gonna say I don't even like it, but I think I would have gone about it a bit different. And I think part of that as well. He again, like what you guys have said about coming together. That's part of it I didn't like as well, where he's just said, "I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that," and that's it. He's gone behind closed, gone back to his home
because he knows,
or whatever. But then
because look, he knows. Zaha knows he's a footballer. He knows how the rest of these guys are, man.
No, but then like you guys said, do something about it. If you're that big enough or brave enough to like step forward and say, "I'm not doing it anymore," then and be one of the first to say it out in public, then you should be okay with saying, "Okay, I can't have an alternative."
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. That's the thing.
But then that just makes everything he's already said. You respect him even less. Then
no, look, he's saying he's proud to be black, but at the end of the day, he knows that the system isn't going to change. He doesn't want to be the facilitator of the change. Not everybody can be a facilitator of the change.
No one's going to move forward in life.
We're not.
That's a terrible attitude to have. I am being
real.
Attitude to have, isn't it? Is that what you're going to teach the next generation?
No,
we're not gonna we've got no hope.
There's some people in the thing that don't give a damn. Zaha, one of those people, doesn't give a damn. Guess what? He's getting his money. He wants to get paid. He's got a family. Does he want to facilitate change? No, he's happy to status quo.
But then that sounds like that's what you're going to be teaching the next generation. Like, just look out for yourself and don't facilitate change. You can't make a difference.
No. I'm not saying.
Even if it's this small, you can't make a difference.
I'm not saying I got the same mentality as Zaha. I'm saying that's where he's coming from. I'm saying that you can't stand up people that want to facilitate change and be like, yeah, taking a knee and when Black Lives Matter means something. That doesn't mean anything.
But to the next man, you don't know. The next man, that
doesn't mean anything.
Not everyone has the same level of platform as Zaha. Some of these other black players, they don't have a voice. They're not a public figure. Like that.
I agree.
For them, wearing a t-shirt, they're proud. That's
a t-shirt of what?
No, but to them,
what does that mean? It's a joke.
For them, that's making a change because
that's not a change.
Look when you can't say that's not a change because look
it's
when
the
civil rights was going on, not everyone was on the front line fighting. You had people sitting in the cafes.
The front line were the people that got it changed.
No, it wasn't just them. Come on, you know your history. It wasn't just them. There were people in the buses, the cafes. There was all the people that weren't being spoken.
That's front line though. That's front line.
No, but I'm talking. But they had different ways of doing it. There's different ways of doing it. There's different ways of doing it. That person who's sitting wearing a t-shirt, that's the sitting on the bus for them. To them, that's them sitting on the bus. They're silent protest. It's still visual representation.
Look. You don't march. You don't march for freedom. You take it. Okay. You take it. I don't want to hear none of this passive nonsense. Martin Luther King nonsense, where they give.
I'm not telling you. You're losing credibility the more you talk, man.
Where they give you handouts. All we have got
the entire time. The more you talk,
all we've got the entire time isn't change. All we've been given is handouts. They're all they're giving us is handouts to be like, keep quiet. All they're giving us hush money. That's why we're still in this position right now. Hush money. That's all we've been given. And because of the way that we are mentally...
If we're still in this position right now, hush money, that means all that Malcolm X did was for nothing then. Or him taking it from them. No, from what you're just saying, you just said we're still in a position now.
Yeah, no, we still are. Because there's not enough Malcolm X's.
Everything Malcolm X did,
there's nowhere near enough Malcolm X's. Everyone's more Martin Luther King.
No, but you talked about taking it, but like he took it, and we're still in the same position as you just said.
But
but Mr. KA, there's stuff behind that we can't talk about because into reasons why that happens.
I'm talking about the way we are now. Everything that we have been given is just hush money. They make little kids dream about being sports stars and rappers, not politicians. not anything to do with science, not anything to do with politics, not anything else, not executive, none of that. If you're mostly black, you know what you are. You have to be sports, you have to rap, or you're going to be staying exactly where you are. Everything else, as I said, it's a lot of hush money stuff that they're giving us. Okay, it doesn't really matter about all this Black Lives Matter and taking a knee. None of that stuff matters. Well, what change is that going to do? I'll give you an example, and this is piss take that they're taking. This is the piss take that they're doing. Bournemouth are searching for a manager. They're searching for a manager. Yeah, they come out early in the week, say Henry has been interviewed, or they're looking at Henry for the manager of Bournemouth. Okay, bear in mind a team like Bournemouth, they're probably looking about 100 managers. Okay, they're going to shortlist about 20 managers. Out of those 20 managers, yes, they may have been looking at Henry. Why do you think the news came out just specifically that they're looking at Henry? Out of 20, why did that come out?
Well, you could say that it's because Henry is a name. It's a big name.
So, trust me, they were looking at names. They were looking at loads of other names. Henry as a manager isn't a big name. Let's remember that. Henry as a manager.
Frank Lampard as a manager was not a big name, but he got the Chelsea job because of his
Henry
name.
As a manager, I'm saying in regards to other people that are looking at, is not a big name. Why they bring out specifically Henry out of probably 20 people that are shortlisted? And then eventually ended up going with Jonathan Woodgate. Really? Really? Yeah? Jonathan Woodgate, caretaker, yeah?
No managerial experience at all.
What are you trying to say? Come on, man.
No, I get it.
I mean, it's handouts. All they're giving this is stupid handouts. It's just pointless little what do you call it? What's that word? Propaganda that they're using just to appease people. Forget this appeasing nonsense. If we want to take exactly one, we have to go and take it. If these guys want to facilitate change, go get together and start doing things that's actually going to make a difference. Not these stupid things that aren't going to make a difference a week, 2 weeks from now. No one's going to remember Black Lives Matter or taking a knee a month from now, man. Give me none of that nonsense.
Mr. K, in terms of facilitating change, you don't necessarily agree with the radical ways in which the truth is saying we should do it.
No, it's not that I don't agree. It's not that I don't agree. I just think
what do you say? What do you think should happen? What do you think that players should do?
No, I agree with that part, that they should come together and affect change. And like I said, if Crystal Palace would not have a starting lineup if all the black players said like we're not playing this weekend. No, so I agree with those efforts can work, but if you say I'm not doing this, I'm not going to participate in what we're doing now, and I'm not going to offer another solution, because as of now he hasn't offered another solution, whether he's thinking about it or not. Then you're not doing nothing for the cause. Then what's better? You saying you're not going to do something that's already creating a conversation, that's having people think about what they're doing. Maybe it's not enough. I agree with what you were saying. It's not enough, but at least they're thinking about and talking about it. Or you're not doing nothing at all. So
I think it's worse.
People are going about their lives. Like
I think it's worse. I think Black Lives Matter and taking these worse than doing nothing.
So you'd rather just go about your life like people just treating you however.
That's what he wants to. That's what he wants to do.
No, you. I'm asking you. You rather just go about your life.
I'm not Zahra. This is Zahra.
No, but if it was you in that position, you would just rather go about your life.
I would do exactly what I just stated that I would do. But we're talking about Zahra specifically. He obviously feels that taking a knee and wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt is worse than doing nothing. Which
is okay, but then I don't know. I'd rather you do something then. But doesn't that bother you just as much that he's not doing anything?
Nope.
I think.
Then that sounds like you're thinking about self.
No, I'll tell you why. But let TJ go.
I think it's one of them ones in which I think either way it's annoying, because as I said, doing a Black Lives Matter and taking a knee isn't doing anything. It's keeping the conversation relevant, but it's just, that's what it was. It's just empty words. Nothing's actually coming of it. But at the same time, I get what you're saying, Mr. K, in terms of, well, if you're not gonna do it, give us another solution. Tell us what you believe that people should do. And it just looks like Zaha's not really interested in doing that. And yes, in that sense, it is annoying, because it's like, well, say something, put something out there in the atmosphere that people can do to try and affect change. You're saying this isn't working, it's degrading, so give us something else that we can do. But I get what the truth is saying. Zaha don't care like that. He just said, he's just like, listen, I don't care. I'm not doing that, but I'm not somebody that's gonna be trying to make change. I'm just saying I'm not doing this because I don't feel like personally it's degrading and we shouldn't be doing it. And you either agree with it or you don't.
Yeah, maybe Zaha doesn't want to facilitate change. Maybe he's just happy getting his money, doing his work, coming home, seeing his family. Maybe
Which
that's Zaha.
For him personally, suits him fine. But I think on a wider scale, it's not the attitude that you would want for others to see, because it's like, if you don't care, then why should we care? Even though they don't care, we know they don't care. But it's a fact where all the people that are either indecisive or are supporting equality, they're going to be like, well, if he doesn't care, why should I care?
And that's the point that I forgot to make earlier on, which I was going to wait for the opportunity to say, that it can cause furthermore demise and hurt to the situation and divide by saying I'm not going to be a part of it, because it gives everyone else license, to the covert racists out there, to the people who are outwardly racist, to say, this black man's not doing it, so it's nothing serious, then it's whatever. It gives them more license to like just rubbish it and laugh at it even more. Like, your own black people are not even doing it. Like, you guys are not serious.
No, it's true. It's true.
Just saying that, just quickly put that out there.
I hear that. We had Lewis Hamilton come out today and basically say that, Mr. KA, Lewis Hamilton said, change is still needed. We must keep pushing to hold ourselves and others accountable. So we have to keep striving for equality for all in order to continue to see true change. That doesn't make any sense, but to see true change and lasting change in our world. And basically, he set up a charitable foundation to improve diversity in motorsport. It's called the Hamilton Commission. And basically, it's been brought in to investigate the barriers to those from underrepresented backgrounds entering motorsport. Is Lewis Hamilton is this something different? Is this Lewis Hamilton basically saying, I was a supporter of Black Lives Matter, I was taking a knee on my way towards the last championship, but now I'm going to try and branch off and do something different, partly because I don't believe that what everyone else is doing isn't affecting enough change in society and in sport?
This is exactly what I'm talking about, and what I feel that people in positions of Zahra, and again, it's not a knock against Zahra, because as I was saying earlier, everyone fights in their own way. If he wants to fight, like, you had the silent fights, you had the front line, in your face fights, you had the sitting at the back of the bus. But anyway, not to digress, I applaud what he's doing, because he's taking action. As we've all said, the knee and all the other t-shirts or whatever is becoming redundant, and now he's seemingly, obviously we still have to see what comes from it, seems that he's taking action, and also at the same time he's urging people to continue the fight, keep pushing. He doesn't say keep wearing t-shirts, keep doing a knee, but he's trying to encourage people to keep pushing. It's not gonna change overnight, as we've said in previous videos. Like, it's been happening for years. When we talked about the referees and all of that stuff, it's been happening for years. It's not going to happen overnight, but keep moving forward, keep pushing and trying to affect change, because hopefully, as we said again in previous video, our grandchildren will live a better lives than we did.
But by the way, we don't know if Zaha's got his own thing going on.
That's why I said. That's why I said if. That's why I didn't say he's not doing it. I said we don't know, but at least from what we are seeing here in black and white, Lewis Hamilton, he's actually asked the question, "What's next?" And then he said, "This is what I'm doing to move things forward and to like show maybe give a representation of what should be happening next,
Um,
because he talked
yeah,
about sorry, quickly, diversity in the sport, and that's how we're going to affect change. If you can get people in these positions and at the table, and then you can open up avenues for then people to, from people behind them to come forward and step into those leadership roles. That's how you affect change.
I'm
'Cause if you're
all about action. I'm all about action. To be honest, I'm all about what Hamilton's doing, but I don't think taking a knee and wearing a t-shirt is action. To be honest, I think it's kind of productive.
You're going back to, we've moved on from that point. Like,
No, I'm saying
Lewis Hamilton is not saying take the knee and wear a t-shirt. He's actually
no, but this is a discussion. We're discussing what Zaha's initial statements, what he said about it. I said I'm all for the action. I'm all for what Hamilton is doing. That's what I'm talking about. That's the action that I like to see. But just going back to the taking a knee and wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt, for me that isn't action. I think that's actually kind of productive to what you actually want to do. And as I said, we don't know if Zaha's doing the same. Maybe he's got his own charitable stuff set up in the background. Maybe he's doing his own thing. Maybe he doesn't want to talk about it. Maybe he just wants to get it done. So, we know how the media's like. We know how the media wants, to be out there, people saying stuff, so it looks good on camera. So action speaks louder than words, I say.
No, I hear that 100%. I hear that. It's one of those discussions in which everyone's going to have different opinions. There's not really any right or wrong answer in the way that you go about it. You've got the way that, unfortunately, the majority believe that taking a knee and the t-shirt to the way going forward, and we know it's a tick box exercise, right? As Zaha said, he's not doing that. He's going in a different direction. We don't know whether or not he's going to come out with his own thing and say, this is what I'm doing. Who's jumping on the bandwagon? We don't know if that's going to happen. But as of right now, all we know is that Zaha said, I'm not wearing it. I'm not doing it. And you just got people that are like that. It's just the way how they are, and it is what it is. And then obviously you've got the Lewis Hamilton aspect where he said, look, I supported it when it first came out, which everyone did. But now, without saying it, he's saying now all I'm going to do is follow on from that and try and go in a different direction. I think partly because he knows that this is just token gesture. It's a token gesture and nothing's going to come of it. And he's come down and said, all right, cool, this is what I'm going to do, because we need to be kicking down the doors. We need to be breaking barriers, and we need, not only do we need the abuse to stop, but we need to get ourselves in higher positions, right? So that we can affect change. It's absolutely despicable. And we're going to use football as an example, that a sport in which you have so many Black players, right? And obviously we look at it now and players are becoming coaches. We've got so many Black players, and yet we've barely got any representation in coaches, barely any representation at management at the top level. And we've got barely any representation, like basically barely anything at board level. And it's like, well, what's going on? Because we got the people, we've got the knowledge, right? And we're willing to work twice as hard because we've had to do it for our whole lives. So why is it that we're not getting there? Why is it that we're not getting in these positions? Truth, I know you'll know more about this, but why doesn't it happen?
It's because of the people, the gatekeepers.
Institutionalized racism. This is what institutionalized racism is. You can't have Black people at board level because you're going to inspire a lot more Black children thinking that they can be at board level. You can't see Black people in parliament because you're going to think, you're going to have these Black kids thinking that they can be in parliament and can be part of the change and stuff. Let's just keep them on the pitch. Let's just keep them dancing in videos. Let's just keep them rapping on the streets. That way you're going to inspire the kids that the only thing to do is, rap, be good at sports, or sell drugs. That's what institutional racism is. If they were serious about the change, boom, get these ex-footballers straight away into board level. Boom, get these ex-footballers straight into management. Look how easy Gerrard, Lampard, Rooney, boom, big jobs, minimum championship, minimum winning titles in Scotland, top division. You know, what does Ashley Cole have to do? What do these guys have to do to go get there? You know, what does Henry have to do? You know, what did Vieira have to do? These guys have to go learn the trade all over the world. Come back. Henry had to go to, you know, understudy for, was it Belgium?
Yeah.
Understudy there. Went Monaco, didn't work out. Had to go America. You know, did a decent job in America. Had to come back now. You know, Vieira, all over understudy, had to go to America, came back, done Nice. But then you get, as the big jobs, Championship, Premier League, Scotland First Division, boom, these guys getting there straight away. No experience needed. It's institutionalized, man.
Okay.
No, I get it and agree. I get it and agree. Yeah, no, I honestly, nothing I can say to that. I agree. I'm not here to be an opposing side. I'm here to like just share my opinion.
No. I didn't even ask you to be opposing, but I think your silence just proves what we're saying.
I'm like
I know agree most of what you. I agree. I
know you're saying that we have to have the discussion, but I think the discussion thing is out the window no more. I think I don't want to like me personally. I don't want to discuss it no more.
But that's where I thought that's counterproductive.
Why? We've been having the discussion for years. Okay, for years. What are we discussing?
No, I agree with that.
What are we discussing?
I agree with that, but then how do you then inspire the next?
Why talk to people that don't want to listen, man?
No, that's valid, and that makes sense. But then, how do you inspire?
I just told you, get together. Let these footballers start getting together. Let these guys of high. They could all come together and make a powerful enough group, but they're just too
but it's
scared.
easy enough for us to say in these positions. But who's to say?
It's easier for them to do. It's easier for them to do.
Yeah, but then they're still walking the line. They're still walking the line, though.
They have to either facilitate change or don't. Be happy with the status quo or don't. That's it. You can't be on the fence about it.
And this is it. The thing is that I get what the both of you are saying, and the problem is, KA, you can't be in the middle, because in the middle basically means nothing happens. This is what the football. This is the position.
I'm not in the middle, by the way. I'm not in the middle.
No. What I'm saying is that what Truth is saying is stop talking and get together and go ham to try and affect change. What you're saying is that you don't disagree with that, but you can still, it's better to do something than to do nothing. But the problem with the something is that it's in the middle and it's still not affecting change. That's what I'm saying. So the problem with if you're not going to come up with your own solution to carry on with the knee and the t-shirt, is it's in the middle and it's still not affecting change. So it's one of them ones where you're trying to, basically what we're trying to do is trying to force these guys with the power and with the platforms to go a bit radical with it, because it's the only way that you're going to affect anything. Whereas if they continue down this road, it's just going to be, we're having a conversation, but we've been having this conversation for how many years, and we're still in the same boat.
That's it.
So do you think what Hamilton's doing is not going to work at all then?
No, Hamilton's on the other side. He's affecting change.
Yeah,
he's being active.
What Hamilton's doing is what basically is part of what we're trying to get these guys to do. You can set these things up. As my man said, he's trying to break down barriers within motorsport. I mean, if we didn't have, look how long we had to wait for Lewis Hamilton. Do we really want to have to wait how X amount of years again for another black man to come in Formula One and bust up the team? No, we don't want to do that. He wants to inspire so that we're not waiting for another Lewis Hamilton over X amount of years. We want a next one in the next 5 years. Do you know what I mean? That's what we want. And black footballers and ethnic minority footballers were produced all the time. So my whole thing is, if we've got so many there, you can get together and say, all right, cool, let's set up our own charity to try and break down barriers and kick down doors, find out why we're not getting the coaching, why we're not getting the management positions, why we're not getting in the boardrooms. And whilst doing that, you inspire the youth to say, okay, well, this is what these footballers are trying to do, and they're trying to bring us along for the ride. So you're affecting change. You're inspiring them to be like, yeah, all right, cool. I'm going to play my sport, but I still have a responsibility as a public figure to try and make a statement so that we can fight for equality. And yes, we're not going to fully get there because we know that we're being held down. We 100% know we're being held down. But at the same time, you start messing with their money and there it is. It's as simple as that. And until then, we're just going to be going around in the merry-go-round all the time. And this is the biggest problem. And if you listen to a lot of people on the roads, a lot of the elders on the roads, they say the biggest problem with Black people is that we're the only ones that don't come together and try and do something. We're all about ourselves and the individual, right? And that's not a football thing. It's not a sports thing. That's a life thing, right? Because if we came together and actually supported each other and tried to move in the same direction, we'd run the world. But we don't. We just think about ourselves, unfortunately, because, and there's a variety of issues, a variety of reasons for that. I'm not going to go into it because it's not a history lesson. But these are the things that we got to think about, and these are the things that these footballers got to think about if they really want to do something about it. But just on the final word from the both of you, KA, any final words of what you believe should happen now, going forward from these public figures in sport?
Well, I think we all are saying the same thing. Maybe I'm just saying it a bit differently to you guys, because I feel that just as long as you are moving things forward and you're causing people to look at themselves, and maybe having a conversation is what, maybe that's a triggering word, the phrase, because as you guys said, we're having a conversation, but obviously that's how do you communicate? You communicate by speaking, like, and having a conversation. So, and in these big positions where you are trying to put people in places, you need to open doors and speak to the right people and communicate. So whatever vehicle you use, whatever means, just do it. Use your platform and do it, man. And my qualm is, and like I said already, we don't know what Zaha's doing. We haven't seen. It's only just the other week that he came out with a statement. But he came out with this statement on the public stage. And for me, if you're going to come on stage on public stage, you need to follow up quickly, because in my eyes, you saying that you're going to just stand up, you're not going to kneel anymore, it's coming across as you're doing the direct opposite. And what the bigger picture of the kneeling down is, whether it's the right way or wrong way of doing it, is for Black people to be given the same opportunities and treated equally. So you standing and not saying you're not going to do this one way. Obviously, there's many ways of doing it, but this is one way that is being implemented at the moment. Then it's coming across as you're against the whole thing. So it just needs to come. Players, sports people in position of power who has a platform. They just need to know how. They need to move the needle forward, as Hamilton said. Keep pushing, and then try and open doors from your position of power, whether that's vocally, whether that's behind closed doors. Just move things forward, and don't actively come across as you're providing pushback, and just don't give them opportunity to knock it down, because the people of other races, Caucasian people, whoever, they are ready to squash this and nip it in the bud, because they don't want to be having a conversation in the first place. They feel like they're being forced to. So don't give them a reason. Like, just come correct, man.
I hear that 100%, and I 100% agree with you on that aspect, that they don't want to have the conversation, either because they don't care or it makes them feel uncomfortable. Either way,
they're having to look themselves in the mirror.
Yeah. So either way, they don't want to have it. Truth, any last thoughts from you?
I think it's the opposite. I think the t-shirts and the kneeling all it makes them do is just look and be, oh, look at those cute Negroes getting down to their knees like they should be. Look at them wearing those Black Lives Matter t-shirts. Now we could tell them apart from the rest of us. Telling you, man, it's a joke. I personally believe taking in the end and wearing the t-shirts. To be honest, I want us to just scrap it. I want all the black players to come and be like, scrap it. We're not doing it no more. And then I want these guys to get together to sort out the social media nonsense by coming off social media. I don't even know why to this day they're still on there. I don't know why they're still on there. I thought they would have done that already. Come off social media, and then go talk to their managers, go talk to their chairmen and whatnot. You know, their director of football, and be like, look, let's get some change around here. Let's start getting either ex-players or getting people in the boardroom up there on that level. You know, they can do that. You're telling me Rashford can do all he's done for the public. You tell me he can't go to, you know, whoever at United and be like, look, we need to get more, you know, guys up there. We need to get board level a little bit more multicolored around here. You know, you tell me you can't do that, but you could facilitate change for the country. No, man, these guys are powerful, man. They don't know how powerful they are. They don't know how powerful they are. They are powerful enough. You know, Pogba, Rashford, Martial, whatever, get together. They can facilitate that change within United. Even if it's not to that level, just be like, look, fine, coaching level. Let's do it at coaching level. Let's get down to that level first. You know, let's do it at coaching level. Get more black people in there. So I think there's a lot of work to do. I think a lot more action. No more. If these guys are serious about it, no more talking about it. Let's get real and do proper action to get change done.
Well spoken, well articulated, and valid points from both Mr. KA and the Truth. I do believe that we all have the same goal. It's just different ways of going about it, and whether you agree or disagree with myself, with the Truth, or with Mr. KA, we're all trying to move in the same direction, and all we want is equality. We're not trying to be better than anybody else. We're not trying to say we need to be above anybody else. We just want equality for everybody. That's what we're striving for, because at the end of the day, we shouldn't be treated as second-class citizens. No matter what history tells us, no matter what people try and tell you, we're all the same. We're one race, the human race, even if people want to tell you different. And it's as simple as that. Until these public figures in power start trying to implement real change, we're just going to be a revolving door, and we're just going to be in the same position. But we shall, as usual, wait and see what happens, watch this space and see if there are any changes. But that's it from us, guys. It's not the hype. It's not it's not the craziness that you're used to, but as well as us talking about the sports that we love, and as well as much as we do like to entertain you lot, we are here to educate, and we are here to have them serious conversations that a lot of other channels probably don't want to have, and you're not going to get sugar-coated or anything like that. It's real, and we need to get it out there, because these I keep saying the word conversations, but these things need to be spoken about, because at the end of the day, two things. One, we want society to change, and that comes from anybody. Anyone in this world can change society. But two, we've lived the life, right? You got 3 black men on here living the life, so we can tell you firsthand what needs to be done to affect change. But that is it from us. I want to say thank you to my guys, the
Pleasure,
Truth
man.
and Mr. KA. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
So it was a pleasure.
You're welcome, man. Remember, visual representation is just as important, man. But yeah, anyway.
Of course, man, of course. Yes, people, as you know, I think I've said it in the yesterday on the preview/review show. We've got UFC 259 preview coming up. We've got NBA coming up. We've got all sorts coming up for you lot. So as usual, before we go, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe on the channel. Hit that like button, get involved in the comments. The last time the Truth and I brought this conversation up, people were getting interactive. We love that. We want to have this conversation. Let's make this conversation relevant, and let's start actually posing ideas that are going to affect change, instead of just agreeing with taking the knee and wearing the t-shirts. But people, as we say, stay safe, keep your families safe, and we shall see you very, very soon. Peace.
Peace.